everyone. I'm gonna start with one of the most simple and amazing painting that I've done in a little while. The best part is you only need 3 different kind of color for this, and you probably at the beginning of the video saw the picture of it. So what I've done over here is very simple. Find a right size canvas that you like, and all you have to do is take your acrylic painting. That's what we are doing, all acrylic. I need blue, white and black, that's all. So go ahead and cover your whole canvas, not to mention don't forget the sides and the bottom and the top. So basically something that tomorrow you can hang if you decide to hang it. And so the edges and everything is very important to make sure all of it is done. So after you've done that, let it dry for a little while, because what we are doing is simple but little bit here and there unusual method. So what I'm gonna do now that is totally dry, I'm gonna decide where I want the line to be. I'm thinking of probably halfway through. So just by eyes, you don't even have to use a ruler. Think about it, halfway through for me is going to be around here. So I'm going to put a straight line across, and since I want, this is going to be the only time that I need a straight line, I'm going to use actually a canvas that I haven't used yet. So take a brush that is truly straight and thin. I'm trying to remember how many millimeter this is. Is a 4, number 4. So without taking any kind of water, take a little bit of black. So I decided that I'm gonna go around here. So I'm gonna put the canvas that I have over here, just so my line is straight. I'm gonna go straight line across. So you can see it's not truly straight, so it doesn't matter, because these little pieces are gonna start making much more sense later on. So I decided where the line is gonna be, and from here on I'm going to decide how big my reflection are going to be. So I want the main guitar to start in here and go all the way in here, and I need a big white moon basically in the middle. I'm going to decide it's going to be let's say around here. So you know where your line, black line was? This is your black line. I'm gonna make a circle right where it was. Even though I didn't use water, because this was a base blue, as you can see, is not totally white. So make it as big or as small as you like it to be. I think I like it to be a little bigger, so I'm gonna go a little more and maybe even a little bigger. So don't put any water, otherwise your moon and its reflection is going to be totally blue. So I'm putting it right now somewhat unfinished, because I'm going to finish it when I do my black part of it. So this is done. Wash your brush very well because you're going to use black now. Dry it up, and I'm going to take a black. This is where it's going to start for the body of my guitar basically. So what I'm going to think, I'm going to go and think about it going up and down and then back up. So exactly same reflection in a bottom, but I didn't use any of my black, so it looks a little lower in shade. Now these are all estimate. It's going to be more or less going up and down here and there. Start from the very end over here. I'm going to start making, put your brush going straight down. So I'm going to go right in here and then come down. And as you can see, when I start, is more color and then is a little less in the bottom. So I'm going to start doing a lot of these. Now some of them I'm going to be going thicker, some of them smaller, shorter, totally up to you. It shouldn't be perfect because this painting is not really a guitar or anything. I wasn't going to say guitar until the very end, but seems like it slipped out. So when you start from the top, do what you feel like it, and then in the bottom just try to let it go. Where your line was, you're letting it go. You're welcome to keep making the line more and more visible for yourself, so you know where your line is. Don't want it to be too perfect, otherwise it doesn't look like a painting. Sometimes I don't even use paint. I keep going on and on with it. Now, after a little while, when I've done probably, I would say, 6 of these buildings, then all I'm going to do in here is basically having it 90-degree and going it straight line. So keep taking black and keep going straight line basically in here, because you never know. These could be trees, these could be something else. Now in here you made all your line, but because we don't want this line to be too clear, I'm going to start kind of making it disappear. So I'm going to make very, very small lines, which kind of make it thicker of a line, what you made. Again, don't try to be perfect with these. And keep brushing it off so the bottom part is not as perfect as the top part. Okay, I feel like these guys are a little too small and these guys are a little too big, so I'm gonna just maybe make the top part a little more visible. not the bottom, because on the bottom one is kind of a reflection, so maybe make these guys going. And now I'm going to do almost the same thing going in here. So I'm going to have my first long tree in here. And close to it, maybe one more. And in here, like, make sure is attached to it. Haven't done anything for the rest of this because it's gonna happen later on. Now we're gonna start with all of these trees that is gonna go. You have an outline of what is gonna be almost. So start again 90-degree with the same brush going down. I'm gonna have a lot of these going down and going down. Now put as many or as little as you like, totally your choice, but if you're dipping it in a black like I just did, don't do it from the bottom up, because the bottom, as I keep saying, is a reflection. So try to kind of make it disappear in the bottom one, kind of stronger on the top. And here I want to show it. Put a little too many, but that's totally okay. So that's all I did. Again, I'm gonna make this guy going. Now, this is almost okay for me. Now we need our tree to have some kind of branches going out. So in here, I feel like these are too short. So I'm gonna make it going as many or as little as you like. So at the very end of it, start putting some lines here and there. It will make the line that, the outline that you put, kind of disappear to a point. But don't worry, when we put the leaves, it's gonna disappear. So since this is almost an abstract look, you're welcome to do what you feel like. I always say you have the power to change it, put it the way you like it, or whatever you feel like is good or bad. Just because I paint the way I do doesn't mean that's what you should be doing. Everybody have their own style. Okay, I did some branches over there. Now again with the same brush, I just don't want to do put any more. And so start putting some branches in here. The only thing you make sure is in here is lower, then it goes up and then it comes back down. That's the biggest thing in here. Okay, so this is what I did. Now, this part, I'm going to give you two choices. You're welcome to either use your own brush, the same brush that you were using, and all you have to do is tap. Now, you can either do this and it will totally look okay. Um, you're putting it all around your tree and try to make the line that you had disappear. Basically, your branches, and here I'm gonna have the longest branch to be the outline for mine. So you can do it this way, or what you can do, which is a very unusual method, take a lot of swaps, and what you do, hold them all together, put a very little of water on it, and then put it straight on a black that you had. And basically make sure it doesn't have too much, like this is too much. I'm gonna make it less and start going with these guys. If you just tap and go around, it's very unusual, but it will look really good. So I'm gonna try this one maybe this time. Usually, and you can turn it around, you can do it whatever way you like. Just try to make sure that the line that you made at the very beginning is truly disappeared. Put as much black as you like on it, because it's totally your choice. Now try to make these guys like I made the line. I'm gonna make this one the same way. I just don't put too much in there. I'm not gonna dip it in a black because I'm just gonna do something else soon to it. Now I did all of these because I do want to make it look kind of fade away. I'm gonna try to have some more detail on my trees. So if you used your swap or even your other one, try to think tree by tree. So on this one, I'm going to try to make sure I have enough, and I'm going to make it round. And on this one, I make sure I have enough. So start making it specific for each tree. Now, until you come to the one in the very bottom, middle, then I'm going to use the same one for this guy. So I have some stuff here, but I want to make it more in here. So I'm going to make it a round one for this tree, and then a round guy for this one. Same with this one. Try to have some consistency of a reflection of what you have. Even though the bottom one should be a little less color, but size wise try to have something similar. Okay, I have a lot more in here. I'm gonna have to take a little bit of black because I'm running out of black in here. So when this dries is amazing, and what is so great about it that you can hang it anywhere. It is such a relaxing painting that you can basically put it in a bedroom in a living room, anywhere big that you can think of. Okay, so I feel like this one is lower, so I'm gonna come lower on here and then higher in here. I have to make sure they are somewhat, is it consistent? Now I'm gonna go back in here and again make them somewhat specific to each tree. So this tree, and your line is not going to be perfectly, because not all of the trees are going to have the same size, and there's going to be leaves here and there, basically making it not so perfect. Now in here it has to be farther back. Oh, I forgot over here. You see, when you look up and down, then you can see if it's not consistent. So I need to make this one a tree as well as this one. Now with the swap, it seems like it's taking much longer than a brush. So I think I'm going to change to my brush that I had. I feel like that's easier. Just exactly what you did with the swap. You just tap on it. Try to somewhat realize where your line is, and so the reflection should be as much as this guy. So I'm not going too much lower or too much higher. Doesn't have to be exactly, but somewhat like these three. So hopefully you can now see the line. So let me make sure. This one has to come a little lower because I have it too low in here. Okay, after doing all that, you can see that you need to go a little more branches because you kind of covered your branches. So in here, just put some lines going in and out. Doesn't have to be very visible. You're just trying to really make it look like a tree. Now, try to put them as thin as possible. Some going, very few going upward in here. See, some of them got to be too thick. There's no consistency, so you don't have to worry about any. These were just some branches. Okay, now that I've done that, I think I'm going to take my black and make my line a little more visible. So the line that I had at the beginning, right in the middle, make it going again. Make it as dark as possible. Going through your moon all the way across. Now, don't put any more black or anything on it. Take some white, very little. And we're going to make it look like basically it has some shadows on the top of our tree. So I'm going to just put again some tap here and there for each one. Play with it as you feel like it. I think I'm going to put it maybe a little thicker. You can put it as thin as I put at the beginning, but I feel like I want it to be a little thicker in here. Don't come too low in the trees, and don't try to have it perfect white. It's almost gray. When for each tree I'm going to take a different one. This is such a relaxing painting that you can do without any worries of what's going to come out of it, because it will be amazing. If you end up feeling like any of these ones, like what I did over here, is a little too much white, just keep going over it, or take a little bit of black and try to destroy the white that you had in there. And these are again all your work, and you trying to make it look the way you like it to be. I think I'm gonna go, let's say, somewhat like that, so I know where my lines are, and now I'm gonna go each tree. So that was my tree over here. I'm just making sure my line is not perfect. The best part of painting is that it's almost a therapy if you think about it. Therapy of whenever you're pissed off at something, whenever you're having a hard time about anything. This is so relaxing. See, the shape that I put on all of them is different, so there's nothing that is exactly the same as the other trees. So you can basically put it as much or as little as you like. If you keep tapping on it, the color of it change. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Don't want it to look too perfectly dots. So I'm going to do the same thing over here, but on this one, because I want it to look more fade away, again, let me make the line. Now I'm going to make sure that I don't take too much white, and I use the same white that I had. That's for this tree. So if you take any more white like I need to, make sure you don't end up putting it as nicely as you did over there. So I'm going to do, as strong of a white as it is over there. I'm going to put this one and this one. Now I'm going to take more white back and make sure that doesn't look this white in here. None of them should look that white. So I'm going to keep tapping on it and use the same white. So just whenever you're gonna do any kind of a painting, put a nice music on, something relaxing, and don't think about anything. Try to enjoy it. Remember, somebody said there's never a mistake in a painting. It's always happy accident. I think it was Bob Ross who actually said that. Okay, that's very bright compared to the up there. So I'm gonna try to use the same white for the rest of it. If you notice, I didn't put much of water anywhere when I was doing this painting. So since I feel like this part is too much white, I'm gonna actually dip it in the water and go over it. And whenever you do that, not only you will make it more of a gray, but you also make it look more blended in. Okay, this is